Welcome back to another edition of the Burnout with yours truly, Tony, and I got another Tony here that I've been trying to get over here from Louisiana for the last longest. One of my brothers, a good friend of mine, been knowing him for years, since 2005 if I'm not mistaken. He finally made this trip up on this Thanksgiving Day, so we're going to give him a great round of applause. I'm just not going to give it to him today. But what we're going to do today, we're going to talk about a few things. First thing is I'm gonna let him introduce himself first.
My name is Anthony James. I'm retired U.S. Army, retired truck driver too, and I live in Louisiana, called Roseland, Louisiana, a little country town.
I had to slide that part. I just couldn't just say Louisiana, just country town.
Hey,
Okay. Either way you want to put it, but
it's better than sitting in the city though.
I agree. Well, you see, we stand in the country, so I kind of like it. But what we're going to do, we're going to talk about a few things, and he's going to inform a lot of us about the VA situation. And he was talking briefly earlier about a lot of people get discouraged when they get turned down from the VA disability benefits, and then they quit going back. And you've been turned down before too.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm gonna let you go ahead and have the floor and tell them that you don't always get it on the first go at it, but
You'll be lucky to get it on the first shot. Well, anyway, what I'm saying, I retired in 2004. I worked 2 more years. That's when I met Anthony. I retired in 07. And from then on, I've been retired ever since then. Don't work, don't need to work. So
he reminds me consistently that he does not work and that I'm paying his salary.
Thank you, son. I appreciate it. Everybody asks me, am I gonna find another job when I retire? Why should I? Where do you find a young black man retiring and not working? Because young black men still working. But see, when you do retire, you got all that money set up on the side. What can you do with it? You can't take it with you.
No. But let's talk about the people who apply and get turned down, and then they just feel like that I'm not going to reapply again.
Well, it's a lot of that, especially in our black men and black women too. They do their time in service, they do all this, but when they go up, when they hear what everybody's saying about, oh, the VA won't do this, the VA won't do this. Why? Because you never went up there and found out.
Yeah.
But when you get somebody, a lot of people don't tell everybody about what's going on with the VA, because they scared that they're gonna get more money than they are. But I'm like this, everybody, black, white, whatever, but mostly my kind, you need to go up there and get what's yours. They're not giving you nothing. You earn that. All that time you spent in there, you earn that. Away from your family, away from your kids, your parents and all that, you earn that money.
And another thing is that if it was easy, everybody would do it.
Yeah.
So it's a procedure that may take 2 or 3 times to apply before they actually approve you.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure you didn't get approved on your first time,
Well,
did you?
I kind of did.
You did?
I kind of did. When I came back from Afghanistan, I got hurt in Afghanistan. Right off the bat, I had 70%.
Okay, what about the ones that retired and they don't get it the first time? What advice do you have to them to keep
Well, my advice for them is to just keep putting it in. The longer you put it in, no matter how long you get it, if it takes you 2 years to get it, they're going to pay you back 2 years because you been put your claim in. They're going to pay you back pay. You can't get mad because money you don't have.
Yeah.
But when you have it, you do what you want with it.
The one thing that I know we talked about prior to it is the ones that when they fail the first time, they say it ain't worth it.
Yeah.
But then they complain about when they don't get VA help, when they got medical issues, health issues, and then they want to go and try to reapply. Would you tell them how the procedure, the process, how to go back and reapply if you failed before?
If you failed before, all you gotta do is I had problems. I forget a lot of stuff, but I know what I'm talking about.
You don't forget you're a Dolphin fan.
But anyway, you gotta redo it. If they deny you, you gotta redo it again. However long you take it, you gotta redo it. As long as you got that paper online and they're looking at you, your money's in the bank. But you gotta bring your stuff and don't stop going to the VA.
Mm-hmm.
Don't stop going. Keep going, keep going.
What happens when you stop going? If you 6 months and you don't go back, do you?
It starts over. Your whole thing, the whole process starts over. But if you keep putting everything in, you keep putting your stuff in, it
You
just.
looking at your watch for you ain't got nowhere to go. I'm just saying, you looking at the watch like you got nothing to do. I'm just saying, I'm just throwing it out there.
We get into it all the time. But anyway, that's my brother and I appreciate him. You know, if I need anything, he's there. But anyway, you gotta keep putting it in. You can't sit there and just say, well, I'm tired and this and that. Hey, you see a lot of guys on the street right now. I can see when the Vietnam vets, when they were on the street, they didn't get no respect coming back. But now, when you come back from overseas or whatever, you get out, you can do whatever you gotta do to get what you need. All you gotta do is apply it. That's it. Apply yourself.
The one thing that I have the biggest issue with, and we've talked about this previously before, is the military people that come back hurt. And then they got to fight and scrap for the government to give them what they rightfully supposed to have anyway. It shouldn't have to be like that, in my opinion.
No.
You see them homeless, they done lost a limb, and you gotta fight to get compensation for something that happened over there doing the job that you were required to do.
That they done, you know, but I was in the same predicament when I came back from Afghanistan. I got hurt, and they didn't want us to stay at Fort Polk. I was at Fort Polk. It's Fort Johnson now, but they didn't want us to stay there. They wanted us to come back home, let the VA take care of us instead of them taking care of us over there. You know, a lot of people lost retirements and stuff like that, and you know, you can retire with 30%, you get full retirement. Some got 20%. But you got a lot of these other guys coming, some a different shade, they're coming there. You got a cold, but you gonna give him 30%. He ain't been in the military for 60 days, so, you know, or 6 months or something like that. So it happened a lot when I was at Fort Polk.
So what it seems like they catering to the newer people that's coming in.
I can't say it right now, but you know,
I can. He can't say it, but I can.
He can say it, but they cater to different. Like if it was me, I didn't get what I was supposed to get when I left the military. I had to work on it and wait until I turned 60 to get my retirement. But I should have been retired when I was 49, 46.
So what compare the military when you was there to the new age? It's not. I assume it's night and day now.
These young cats now.
But you got a son that's in the military also, right?
He's in the military right now. He's 86, and he's doing pretty good.
Okay.
You got a lot of people in there. They give him this rank, and they don't know what to do with him. You got a lot of sissies in there. They don't do their jobs. You know, you get to, like I told my son when he made E6, the high rank, I said, don't ever forget, use an E1 and E2 too.
What is the rank of the E6?
It's a staff sergeant.
Staff sergeant, okay.
He said, don't forget, you know, when he got deployed, and I went over there and saw him before he deployed. He said, Dad, he's a college educated engineer, but he wasn't ready for that, ready for telling people what to do at that time.
You know, I hear about it. You got, it's one thing to be in the field, but it's another thing to go by the book. It don't always, the book don't tell you what it is in a perfect scenario. But you was What was your highest ranking when you left?
E6.
E6,
I got out as E6.
Okay, it's a difference when they tell you the book say you have to do the your what they call it, platoon. Okay, but when you there physically and you dealing with these guys, the book don't always show you how to deal with them. Good.
Well, they got their little thing in that you got to go by, but you got to use common sense.
Yeah.
It's common sense, you know. It's like just like we do on this podcast. I don't know what I'm doing, but you do.
That's up to that. That's up to that.
I don't know what I'm doing, but you do.
It goes to me that I remember the military back then was more physically demanding.
Oh yeah.
That they don't touch some of the physicality out of it. A good portion of it.
It's too easy right now. Because when I went in '77. We was wearing boots, running in them, running fatigues and boots and a white T-shirt. Now they got your little tennis shoes, a little black and yellow suit to run in and all that.
Really?
They give them a timeout card and all that.
Timeout? What's a timeout card?
You know when they give the kids timeout.
Oh, okay.
They don't want to hurt. You can't scream and holler like they did us when we was on there.
Yeah, I've seen some of them.
Scream and holler, they sit there and cry like little babies and all that. Give me a timeout card.
Well, everything evolves at times because we got, when you went in the 70s, 76, 77, correct?
77.
All right, the ones that went in the 50s was a little different than when you went in.
It was harder than that. It was harder on them.
So basically every millennial, every 10, 15 years, it gets easier and easier. Okay, what would be the criteria 10 years from now? Honestly, if it's like now, what would it be like then?
10 years from now, I really can't answer that. Because, you know, what I seen when I was coming out, that they were just giving these guys rank and they didn't know their job. And you had like E1s, E2s, E3s was doing their jobs and they was doing their jobs, but the E3s and E2s wasn't getting paid, but the sergeant was because he didn't know his job.
So at some point, this is my opinion, they're gonna take the physical part completely out of it, and you go by college degrees, the level of education, because if you got a college degree now, you can get.
Right now, it's education, right? Education, learn your job, education, go to school and all that, you know. And you go to school, you learn your job, say like even a truck driver, you got more schools to go to, you know. I had 5 MOSs. MOSs, my jobs, I was a field artillery, engineering, truck driver, logistics, and a bomb specialist.
Well, let's talk about truck driving. I was way better truck driver than he was. I got more years than he got. He want to bring chauffeur license up. We're not doing the chauffeur license business.
Hold up. Now the chauffeur's license, it was a truck driver's license.
It wasn't a CDL though.
Hey.
I go from the CDL.
That's what you said. Remember what you were saying?
No, I don't remember anything.
Remember what you just said, nigga? New millennium?
That ain't got nothing to do with it.
New millennium,
CDL
that's what you got to do.
is the only thing, that's the criteria. He got about 20 years in CDL, I got 25 years.
No,
so that means I got more years than he got.
I got my military years too.
No, you weren't driving.
I was driving.
Shouldn't be able to count driving on the military.
I was driving heavy equipment, trucks, anything I drove anything they had, dozers, trucks, tanks.
You shouldn't be able to use stuff that you did on the military base. If you didn't come off the military base, that shouldn't count.
That goes on my resume. If I wanted to go back to
you
work.
didn't put that whatever you did, you didn't put it on the interstate, did you?
Yeah, and we was driving.
I ain't never seen a tank on the interstate.
We was driving in Germany.
That ain't got nothing to do with the United States.
We drove in
I
Germany.
can only go for the United States.
And then we drove in Fort Sill too now. When I was stationed in Fort Sill for 2 years, we drove on the road then.
But I guess can I use when I was spotting trailers, can I use that too since we're doing that?
Yeah.
Well, I got 30-some years then. We're going to add that in.
Well, you know I got more than you.
No, you still don't got more than me. We're not going to go into that today. But anyway.
I have more years than you do. You know it.
You've been out for about 15 years.
07.
07. Okay, I'm still going. So that means at some point I've eclipsed you.
But you got to look at it. I put my time in.
You might got 24 years in, but I got 25 years in.
I got with my military.
I ain't going by no military. Did you have a CDL?
Yes.
No, you had a chauffeur license.
I had a chauffeur license.
That ain't CDL. That's not a CDL though. I'm not
Just
using
like
it.
you say, the new millennium.
I understand
You
it.
just said that, right?
But that doesn't count in this situation.
Hold up. He just said new millennium. So it changes with the new millennium.
No.
The reason for the
Chauffeur license, was you driving a limousine?
Huh?
Was you driving a limousine?
I can drive anything they got.
No, that's what a chauffeur
That's the
license
point.
is.
I can drive. Well, did you drive a limousine?
I have.
Oh. How many years?
I can't remember. We're not going to go into years and semantics and all that stuff. But I did want to get into something else.
Yeah, go ahead.
We wanted to really knock this home. That and I remember you bringing something up earlier, and it got a lot of dealing with the president race.
Mm-hmm.
That you got people now Googling how to change your vote.
Yeah.
To me, shouldn't you have done the research
You should.
on the candidates? But did you use your hatred for a black woman overrid your common sense for the other side?
That's what it was. Because, like you say, I see it on. I go on TikTok a lot, reel, and they talk, and it's just like all these people that voted for Donald Trump. You know, he's the president. I can't take that from him.
Absolutely.
He's the president. But you look at him. You look what he's doing. He's tearing up. He's separating everybody. He's going to separate immigrants. He's going to take them away, send them back over.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to be able to do it. He might attempt to, but I don't think he's going to, because the judges and the law are going to be behind that.
Well, the problem about it is now they have control of the House and the Senate. The only thing that's blocking them is that Biden assigned 61 judges.
That's good.
Which is a good thing because
He should be putting more on there right now. You know, so when Trump comes in there, it's nothing he can really do.
now correct me if I'm wrong. That when you assign a judge like the Supreme Court, High Court, that's a permanent job. They cannot be removed.
They can't be removed.
It's okay.
They gotta
That's
die.
a lifetime appointment,
They
basically.
gotta die out of there.
Okay.
They
So
die.
we look at it that way, and now we look at the black voters. You got some white voters that now are looking like we don't like the people he appointed. My thing was
There's nothing you can do. You voted for him.
Exactly.
You put him in there, so he gonna put who he wants in there.
As he
if
should.
he don't put a black, anybody of our color, or Mexican or whatever, if he don't put nobody racial, other than the white race, something's wrong.
But the thing is, a friend of mine don't know your audience. You voted out of hate, not out of common sense.
Well, they didn't read that. Because he told them what he was going to do through the whole campaign. He told them.
But didn't he do this back in 16?
He did the same
So
thing.
he's basically repeating the same process.
Repeating what he said.
And you didn't learn from the first time.
He almost got us into a war.
I think it'll do a little bit better than almost this time. Because he's already pushing back against NATO. Then you got, he said he's going to do a massive deportation.
Well, he said he's going to fire a lot of these colonels and these officers in the military too. That's what he.
And what are you going to replace him with?
What he got in the office? No good. People don't even know what they're doing.
Well, you got Dr. Oz, who's a TV doctor,
And
over the medical part.
okay, he's a TV doctor.
That's my point. He's a TV doctor, so he's busy not.
This is politics, man.
Yeah.
You got to know something about politics. The TV doctor or whatever. I'm saying, just like this guy that got off of Fox.
Oh yeah, I
What does he
don't
know?
understand that. Well, he's just bringing friends in at this point.
Yeah.
People who are loyal, who will do what he say without question.
So if they mess up, who's gonna be to blame?
I know who he's gonna put it
What
on.
I'm saying, if these guys that he put in there mess up, who's gonna blame? Who is he gonna blame?
You're gonna blame them.
There you
He
go.
ain't gonna take no credibility for
Because they
that.
don't have no background in doing what they supposed to be doing. He
Well-
could put Hulk Hogan in there, or like last time he was in it, he put that the lady over education. She didn't know
Oh,
what
the
she
Bows.
He put who else? He put Vince McMahon's wife in there.
He done that now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what she knows about anything, but the thing is that most people, and this is the most disturbing part that I found, that the black man and the black woman, you voted, and this just goes to some of the black men, not all the black men, but some of the black men. You didn't want to vote for her because you didn't think a woman should be in that position to be able to run.
Well, I'm gonna ask you this, and this is what I thought. She can't do no worse than what the men did.
No, I agree.
She might do a better job. You never know.
Could be, but she'll never get a chance to find
She'll
out.
never get a
Not
chance.
this for you.
But we hawking on the blacks and the women and all. But you gotta look at who else voted for them.
The Latinos voted for him in droves.
And all these people that get raped, fondled, get sodomized by the parents and by the uncles and
Then you
brothers and stuff, they gonna make them have these babies.
Yeah.
You know, they gonna make it. You know, I ain't gonna say that, but that's the whole thing. You look at it like, you look at what he did in the debate. He was just he's a fruitcake. He didn't answer, which he does. He don't never answer a straight question. He never answered one.
Because if he answered it like it was supposed to be answered, it'll contradict everything he stands for.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not gonna answer it. The thing about he said two or three things. He said, I love the poorly educated.
Mm-hmm.
Because he likes people he can manipulate, number one. Then he says, and this is one of the dumbest arguments I've heard, she's not qualified. She's been a DA, prosecutor. She's been worked in multiple branches of the government.
True.
At what point did he work in the government at all?
Yeah.
So how is he more qualified than she is?
Well, they think just because he's the president, and
He didn't do a good job
and
then.
then it's still dumb men, you know.
Okay, we lost how many millions of people because he didn't take the coronavirus serious. How many people died because he said injecting bleach and you had elderly people drinking bleach?
You will never get the correct amount of people who passed away.
No, you really won't. But I bet you it's more than what they're saying.
They might do it overseas.
Yeah.
But they might have counts of all the people that passed away over there, but you'll never get the right account. Because when I was looking at, they was up in New York, and those prisoners were digging trenches and just throwing bodies in there. And then you got bodies in these refrigerated trailers and all that everywhere. You can't even put a count on how many people died.
You couldn't even, just in New York by itself.
That's what I'm saying.
And the number would probably be mind-blowing and mind-boggling.
If they really looked at the numbers of all these people who passed away, I guarantee you it'll be in the billions.
Yeah, it'd be way more than what
It'll
it
be
is.
in millions or billions.
Because you remember some of them, they didn't diagnose with dying with COVID, even though COVID was the main factor of it. But they got pneumonia or something like that. But they knew what it was to deflate the numbers. Because remember, Florida was hiding numbers. DeSantis down there, which is a straight dumbass. But he was hiding numbers. They was not reporting, and they got caught doing it.
But see, I had it, and it took them almost a month to tell me that I had it. What I did, I put on a sweatsuit. I drank some NyQuil, and I sweated it out.
Yeah. A lot of people, and they only counting the people that came in, not the people that had it but never had the symptoms to it. And then, it just went downhill. But it goes back to the fact that he did not face the problem head up, he ignored it.
No,
He said he wanted it to go away.
but he couldn't.
No, he couldn't, but that was his argument. His supporters, half his supporters was dying because of this. And the black people, which bothers me, is why do you vote against your own interests? because you have hatred for this. I've had a guy come to me and said, I don't want to vote for Kamala Harris because she's too strict on first-time offenders. And I said, so it ain't got nothing to do with you doing it. So if you wouldn't have never committed with the crime you did, would she even know anything about you?
Thank you.
So we're not going to take any kind of accountability that I had something to do with this. But like I said, if somebody kill your family member and they get prosecuted, you want them prosecuted to the full extent of the law.
I want to take the needle.
Exactly. But see, now you got a problem with it. But you ain't. We're not going to talk about Bill Barr, who tried to send some of y'all back to jail that was really certain. So we're going to just omit that little bit of information altogether. And the thing about it is, some of the substance, and what they don't understand is, what he's going to affect is not going to affect certain people. People that's on government assistance, you're going to be affected. Food stamps, housing.
What he's doing now, it's going to affect my grandkids.
Yeah.
My grandkids and my great grandkids. It's going to take us a long time to come out of it.
I agree.
I might be dead and gone, but it's going to take a while for us to come out of it.
What do they say is the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. What makes you think? Now, this is the thing I don't get, and you brought this to my attention, and I know it's true because I've seen it. How do you change your vote? You can't change.
You can't change your vote.
Why didn't you look at everything? Do your study on it. And to be honest, dealing with him, you don't even have to do research. He tells you exactly what he's going to do.
But he told everybody. He told me, he said, if you vote, he went to this church group, and if I'm telling a story, y'all correct me. He told them, if you vote for me, you don't have to vote again.
He did say that. I remember.
You don't have to vote again. So what does that mean?
He's trying to be a dictator. He want to say this the last.
He wants to be a tyrant.
That's it. The thing about this is, and this is the only thing we got going in our favor. In order for them to pass anything, they still need a certain amount of Democrats to vote with them. That's going to block them a little bit. The other thing is, and I'm going to be the first to say it because I didn't say this last time, I really believe those so-called assassination attempts, I think they were fake.
I'm gonna tell you my opinion. Now, I've been in the military 27 years, active in the reserves. And you take them bullets that they got, 7.25, 7.26, and if it hit his ear, I'm gonna tell you, you look at this part, he had a big old wad on his ear. If that bullet would have hit his ear, because you got a bone right there, it would went anywhere. If it had hit where he had that, look where your earlobe is.
Yeah.
And if he missed him, it should have went straight through his neck.
That's it. I ain't talking from somebody who dealt with military and firearms.
I looked at it and I said, come on man, because when he went down and he came back up, he was bleeding like it wasn't there. And those security guards, what's the name? Just like, remember when President Reagan got shot?
Yeah.
How quick they had him in that car and whisked away. Man, how you gonna sit up there? They gonna hold him down like that, and then he gonna jump up and say, put the power sign.
They need to think about that because I just thought it was. And then the other one, they say they caught somebody who wasn't even around him and they caught him just because he had a gun. You know, I think all that was staged for his benefit.
We'll never know till like 15 to 20 years from now.
Or until he get off and he run his mouth too much and then say something.
He start running his mouth and talking. Like
which
he always do.
Which is very likely he's going to do. But I just don't understand my people who are struggling already. You need some of these government assistance that, they said, well, what was Kamala Harris offering? $25,000 on new home buyers. You get a certain amount of money for a newborn child. Now, do they understand he's not offering any of this? And where did they get this stimulus check from? He hasn't said he was going to give him a stimulus check.
He don't give nobody no stimulus check.
But you got a woman that my mom was telling me about, said she voted for him because of the $600 stimulus check. So all you worth is $600.
But see, the thing about it, he didn't give it to us.
No, he didn't. He didn't want to.
He didn't want to give it to us.
No, he did not. He just signed his name to it.
There you go.
That's all to it.
And you talk about something else that we talked about when you at my house when we was talking on the phone about the Obamacare.
Mm-hmm.
You know, all these guys trying to get off Obamacare and get on the
Affordable Care Act.
Affordable Care Act. It's the same thing, brothers. The same thing. All they did was put President Obama's name on it.
That's it. And the dumb thing about it is they, and you don't have to take my word for it, but just look at the Trump rally and look at their supporters.
Mm-hmm.
They have some of the dumbest supporters I've ever seen.
You know, those guys that raided that the state capitol, Capitol,
Mm-hmm.
they should have been stripped of everything they had. If they was getting money from the military,
I agree.
they should have been stripped from it.
Because that's
treason.
It's treason, man.
That's treason. President, if he started, that's treason with him too.
Yeah,
He's trying to be a dictator. He's trying to overturn the government.
he did. The thing I got is you got 34 felony convictions. I get one. I can't be a correction officer.
Well, you look at the guys now. You think they can vote now? The ones that's been to prison?
No. They should be able to.
That's what I'm saying.
They should be able to. But how does he get off 34 felony convictions and then can run for the highest branch of government?
I know you heard they dropped some of them, right? Because he's a sitting president.
Yeah.
They dropped some.
I need to know what you dropped.
Mm-hmm.
Which one?
If next time I hear it again, I'm going to write it down.
Okay. I want to know what that is.
Because I know they dropped some of his charges.
Based on what, though? Because he's a sitting
He's
president.
a sitting president, that's why.
So if I did all that, you going to drop charges on me?
No.
Why not?
You going to jail.
Why should I go? He ain't go.
Because you not him.
Then you got these people say, they show this shirt, never surrender. And they say, well, didn't he surrender to take the picture? And then they just look like their mind just blowed up.
And see how he's so disrespectful to military.
He is.
What he did when he went to Arlington
Arlington,
Cemetery.
Texas, yeah.
You know, and then he does like he was in the last time I seen one. He did one in a garbage truck. He went to McDonald's.
McDonald's.
He didn't even know what he was doing
You know why he did McDonald's, though?
because Kamala Harris worked at McDonald's.
That's it. The garbage truck was a symbol that he's garbage. To me, that's what it's symbol.
No trash.
What I don't understand, and I'm glad I got you on today. Once again, we got Anthony P. James, retired military. Why could a military person vote for him after the disrespect that he's given the military?
But you gotta look at a lot of them, how they gave President Obama. They didn't give him no respect when he was in office.
That's right.
None at all. Even the higher ups, they didn't give him no respect in office. And then you look at what he said. He's gonna get rid of some of these higher guys in the military. But I'm like, who are you gonna put in there? And like this new Secretary of State they got, he don't know jack about nothing. What you gonna do? You gonna go call your mom, call your dad, and say, "Oh, what do? I don't know what to do." You know?
I'm still puzzled that he disrespected John McCain, which was military. He said he don't like people who get caught, and he was referring to John McCain. Do he know when you, and you know, you speak on this way better than I can ever speak on it. When you engage in war, somebody people on both sides gets caught.
Well, see, it's just like I tell everybody. When I was in LA, a couple of weeks ago, and for Veterans Day, and this one guy was talking to me and stuff like that. And I said, like I told him, I said, bro, let me tell you something. I spent 27 years in there, and freedom's not free. All these guys, these women and men go out there and fight for you, so you can do what you want. If you're a Klansman, they're fighting for you to do whatever you want to do. But but you don't respect the military. A lot of them don't respect the military at all. They think we get too easy. We shouldn't get nothing. You know, that's where a lot of people think that we shouldn't get nothing.
The thing about when you got the most disturbing and the most dangerous is when you got a man that's basically over the military now, who has no respect for the military.
None at all. None.
So what would stop him from doing some of the most reckless things with the military? You know what he said he wanted the military to use against us over here. And then you know, people are frowning about that.
Yeah, if I was in the military then and they called my unit to come in here, come to Chicago, come to Baton Rouge or something like that, I would put my gun in. I didn't sign up to kill my own people.
That's it. So why would you want to use martial law? Because that's basically what it would
That's
wind
what
up
it is,
being.
martial law, when you bring in the military.
So you want to use Chicago, but you're, it's just like when he said he thinks that the Mexicans are killers, but you're not talking about the people that's coming from Canada.
I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna tell you something. You look at all the killings that's been happening here. Melville was in a unit in Baton Rouge. The guy that was killing the people in Virginia. That's when I was still driving.
Oh, the one the DC sniper.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was from Baton Rouge, and I was scared to go up there. They tried to send me.
We all were.
I wasn't going up there. The night they caught him,
He was at a rest area.
I had passed that rest area.
Wow.
I was in that rest area, and I had got out. I went to the bathroom, left, and they said they caught him in that restaurant. That restaurant.
Sleeping one.
Yeah, they were sleeping in there, that rest area. But they trained us to do what we do. And then you got all these people killing people. You got all these, like you going to school, you can't. All the mass murders have not been done by illegals.
It's been in-house.
It's been in-house. Our own people killing each other. You got guns, you know, they got the best guns, and they just get a gun just to kill somebody, you know?
The thing I got a problem with the military, you heard me say this before, you teach them how to kill,
There you go.
but you don't deprogram them when they get out. So they still got that same mindset.
I still got the mindset still.
Yeah, you want to run all the dog all the time.
I still got that mindset because you got when we got out, they never shut us down. When I went in, I never fired a gun or nothing. They taught me everything I know about guns. My dad he wouldn't even let us shoot his guns or nothing like that. My dad retired Air Force, so I'm a military brat. But we never had guns. My first time shooting the gun was when I went to the military. So they taught me everything I know about shooting and killing.
So what would your advice be? I know what mine would be is to put them in before you release them, when they, you know, like especially those snipers.
Yeah.
They specialize in target.
Oh, man.
They don't miss. Their job is not to miss. You need to put them in some kind of program to deprogram them.
But they don't want to though.
So you know what happened in LA when they didn't do them guys out there, and them it was 2 or 3 of them Navy SEALs or something like that, and they had and the police didn't have guns big enough. And they was killing them left and right because they was trained to do that.
They was trained to kill, man.
And you don't test for ADHD. You don't test for any of the symptoms that are what, because y'all seen stuff over there that you want to forget probably.
They take us for PTSD. I say, when I was over there, I seen a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
And I used to ask my dad when he was in Vietnam. I said, "Dad, what'd you do? What'd you do? How was it and all that?" But you know, he always looked at me and he just shook his head and walked off.
Pretty much what you do to me when I asked you that. Same thing.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Because then when I came back from Afghanistan and I was sitting in the front room with my dad and my uncle, and I stood there and talked to him. I said, "You know what? I know what you're talking about. When I asked you, because a lot of people ask me what did I do over there, and sometimes I might say a little bit, but I won't say all of it. But it's like a lot of people, you see stuff like it's in a movie.
Yeah.
But when you see it for real, the bloated bodies and all that carnage and stuff like that, you know.
It's totally different when you see
Oh,
it.
it's totally
And
different.
what they say in living color.
We had to bring them off the plane where we was at. When
Have you ever seen people that just came into your platoon or your squad that see this and just mentally just snap?
When we went to Afghanistan, we flew in out of into Turkey on a C-130. They had the steel caskets on there, and they were saying, "What is that?" I said, "If you don't listen to me, you'll be in one of those." And they would shoot. They shot at our C-130 when we was going to Bagram, but we stayed in Bagram when we went to Kandahar. But the young kids, they're smart as I don't know what. They're smart as what. They taught me everything, like on the computer and stuff like that. But like when we left, their parents came on there and said, "Sergeant James, just bring my kids home." And all I could tell them, if they listen to me, they will come home.
But I would be a fool to think that everybody that went with you came back.
Yeah, everybody went with me. I'm the only one that got hurt, but all my people came back.
But it don't work like that all the time.
No, it don't work like that at all. I'm the only one got hurt in my unit, but the rest of them, they did what they were supposed to do and they came home.
But did you have any that seen the carnage and their mind just couldn't take it? Yeah. Like they would snap and you had to pull them to the side, "Hey man, get it together," Cause
I had two guys from Chicago, and they would we get up it's an 8-hour difference. And then sometimes be morning over there, it'd be dark, but then it'd be night. At night it'd be dark, it'd be light. But these two guys just couldn't do what they were supposed to do. And so I had to get them to dig a ditch and fill it back up.
You couldn't do that?
Yeah, they did.
They did.
They got mad. They told my platoon sergeant. Like I told her, I said, "Look, I'm not hurting them.
Yeah.
I can work them. I can't hurt them. I can work them long." But that's the whole thing. You got to get them straight, because you get over in combat, man. You see a lot of stuff, and I really want all our people to come home.
Yeah.
I sure couldn't deal with it when one of them got killed or something like that.
But sometimes it's like the reports we have friendly fire. And when that actually happens,
Yeah,
you
it
know
happens.
about it. But then
Maybe
sometimes,
that football player.
oh yeah, exactly. That's the one I'm really thinking about. But then you got the ones that are in comeback that don't come back. They get killed in the midst of the fighting. And the biggest and the worst thing I've ever seen is when they bring that big plane in and they got like 20 caskets they rolling out, and you gotta and you waiting for them on the outside, and you see that's gotta play in your mind.
It does.
I would imagine.
I see a lot of people, you don't know how old these guys are. Some of them 18, 19, 20 years old, young. You got some older, but it's just, you see that, and you can't sit there by being me a higher up. You can't sit there and start crying, and you just gotta just hold it in, because if they see you weak, they're gonna eat it. Boy, he can't lead me nowhere.
Exactly. I think the worst thing I've seen is when I wouldn't want to be the one to have to go to their house with that flag and tell them. Because I've seen those interviews, and it just.
My sister-in-law, when I was getting ready to go, she asked me. She said, "Tony, would you kill women and children?" I said, "Let me tell you something. War is hell. People die, people live. I wasn't going over there to die and stay over there and be shipped back home.
Yeah.
Because if I want to die, I stay here in the United States.
Odds are better.
At least I'm at home."
Well, I want to first thank Anthony for coming away from Louisiana to join us on Thanksgiving, which is always a privilege and honor to have him. And the next visit, I'm going over there to his house.
Yeah. That's what you said.
But didn't I come last time?
How long has it been?
Makes no difference. I came.
How long?
How long you been up there?
20.
20. No, it was 2022.
20 after my dad passed away.
No, it was 2022.
When?
That's when my brother died.
Yeah, sure right.
That's the
Yeah.
last time.
Yeah.
But this is a brother of mine. I love him to death. And some say I treat him better than my brother. Probably accurate. Just kind of up in there.
Well, he's like a brother to me, so I don't care what.
I'm the big one, though. As we can see, I'm the big one. He's just older than me.
I'm the wiser one.
No, I ain't gonna say all that.
I'm the wiser one.
He might be, because he stopped driving. I'm still driving, so he might have something to go by that. But once again, I want to thank him for
no problem.
Blessing us with his presence. We're gonna come back and do a sports show at some point later on. Because I got a lot to talk about. We ain't talking about Alabama. That's I took all my Alabama stuff off the table. We ain't talking about Alabama, so I'm not gonna do that. But once again, I want to thank him for coming and taking time out.
Hey, we can talk about LSU.
No, if I start with LSU, I got to go to Alabama at some point.
You know that.
I'm not gonna go there. I'll stay with the NFL.
I'm gonna bring it to him.
I'm gonna ignore it.
Bring it to him.
I cut the camera off. I refuse to talk about it.
Cause I'm a Texas A&M fan. I'm Texas A&M.
How do you go from LSU to Texas? And you was an LSU fan last time I heard.
No.
Yeah, you always been an LSU fan.
I only go with LSU when they play Alabama.
Once again, and like I said, I sure appreciate him for taking time out to stop by and swing by and
Man, I
give us.
appreciate it. I love coming down here anytime. See your mom, see you, see your family and everything.
So now, I got to deal with this joke all day today, so it's just side works. Hey, but we thank him and we appreciate him. Appreciate the service he did in the military for 27 years.
Thank you very much.
Because it's nothing easy about it. I love when he throw in my face that I'm paying for his taxes every so often he throw that in my face. But hey man, we respect the military. We take, because it's a job that everybody can't do. It's a job that you got to have a certain mentality, a certain mindset to do, because you're going to be gone away from your family for long times, and that is a toll itself. It takes a heavy toll.
Everybody can't do it.
Everybody can't do it. I'm one of them who
Everybody can't do it.
I don't like to get up at 5 o'clock and start running. I'm just gonna be honest with you. But hey, we thank him. Hey, we'll be back next time, same place on the Burnout. And remember, always flame up, never burn out. 2 fingers. Peace.
Thanks for having me, brother.